You've been lied to about your marine battery. And I don't mean a little white lie on the packaging. I mean the kind of lie where you hand over $300 at a marine supply store, haul a 50-pound box onto your boat, bolt the terminals down, and genuinely believe you just bought yourself 100 amp hours of reliable deep cycle power. You didn't. You probably bought 60, maybe 70 if you're lucky. And the manufacturer who printed that number on the label, they know. They've always known. The testing standard that's supposed to keep them honest has so many loopholes that a company can slap deep cycle on a starter battery, inflate the amp hour rating by 25%, and never break a single regulation. I personally think this is the most under-discussed scam in the entire marine industry, and I spent an embarrassing number of hours digging through boating forums, battery spec sheets, and industry teardown data to prove it. So I lined up 5 of the most popular marine batteries you can buy right now: an Optima BlueTop D34M at $310, an Interstate SRM27 at $140, a VMAXTANKS SLR125 at $270, a Banshee Group 31 AGM, and a budget option straight off Amazon for $90. Then I cut every single one of them open. What I found inside was the difference between marketing and engineering. And those are 2 very different departments. The Optima BlueTop is the battery you see at every boat show, sitting on a pedestal like it's the Rolex of marine power, and when you crack one open, you understand why people fall for it. Inside that dark blue case are 6 individual spiral wound cells, each one a tightly rolled cylinder of 99.99% pure lead, separated by microfiberglass AGM matting. The construction is genuinely beautiful. You can see why Optima calls it SpiralCell technology. The continuous cast bus bars connecting each cell are heavier than the tombstone welds you'll find in any flat plate battery, and the whole thing is built to survive 15 times more vibration than a conventional battery. Sounds incredible, right? And it is. For vibration, for mounting flexibility, for bouncing across choppy water without sloshing acid everywhere, for actual energy storage, 55 amp hours. That's it. The Optima BlueTop D34M at $310 stores 55 amp hours at the standard 20-hour discharge rate. That works out to $5.30 per amp hour. I'll save you the math on the others, but spoiler, nothing else even comes close to being that expensive per unit of energy. The spiral design is the reason. Those tightly wound cylinders sacrifice raw plate volume for structural integrity. You're paying for an engineering marvel that happens to store less electricity than a battery half its price. The boating forums are ruthless about this. On the whole truth, a battery shop employee basically laughed when a customer compared the BlueTop to a Deca Intimidator Group 31 AGM that delivers more capacity in the same footprint for less money. I'll be honest, the Optima genuinely impressed me as a piece of manufacturing. It just didn't impress me as a battery. Now, the Interstate SRM27 is where things get interesting, because Interstate Battery System of America doesn't actually make batteries. Not a single one. Every battery with an Interstate sticker was built by Clarios, formerly Johnson Controls, or East Penn Manufacturing, depending on which factory is closest to the warehouse. Interstate is a distributor, a branding operation. They buy batteries, slap their name on the case, and mark them up. The SRM27 rates at 88 amp hours with 600 cold cranking amps, 160 minutes of reserve capacity, and it weighs 50.3 pounds. All flooded wet cell construction, nothing fancy, requires occasional water checks. It costs about $140 retail, or $90 if you grab the Kirkland-branded twin at Costco, which is the same battery in a different box. Here's the part that actually surprised me. Interstate's own documentation includes a formula where you multiply reserve capacity by 0.60 to estimate the 20-hour amp-hour rating. For the SRM27, that formula spits out 96 amp hours, which is higher than the 88 on the label. Interstate is one of the only companies tested that appears to be conservative with their rating. The battery might actually deliver slightly more than it promises. That alone puts it ahead of most of the competition. Not because it's a great battery, because it's an honest one. I put everything I've learned from teardowns like this into a set of 6 PDF guides called the Bilge files. The pre-purchase inspection. Checklist alone has 47 points covering batteries, wiring, and electrical systems, so you catch inflated specs before you hand over money. $19.99, one time, no subscriptions. Scan the QR code or hit the link in the description and pinned comment. If you're finding this useful, hit subscribe. I break down gear and marine equipment like this every week, and the next video might save you even more than this one. The VMAXTANKS SLR125 is a case study in carefully chosen words. Their website says, engineered in Michigan. Not manufactured, engineered. They claim to have been operating since 1991 and throw around phrases like military-grade alloys without a single spec sheet or third-party certification to back it up. Military-grade is a marketing term. It means nothing. You could call a garden hose military-grade and nobody could stop you. The SLR125 claims 125 amp-hours, 260 minutes of reserve capacity, and it weighs 75 pounds. And here's the thing. The weight actually checks out. At 0.6 pounds per amp-hour, the lead-to-capacity ratio falls within the legitimate range for an AGM battery. One verified reviewer ran a full 20-hour discharge test and measured between 120 and 128 amp-hours from new units. Another owner reported his SLR125 still tested at 101 amp-hours after 10 years in float service. So the capacity claim appears real. The red flag is the warranty. 1 year. Lifeline gives you 5. Optima gives you 3. VMAXTANKS gives you 12 months and wishes you luck. That short warranty on a battery selling for $270 tells me the company doesn't trust its own product to last, even if the initial capacity is there. And their 6-volt line tells a darker story. Reviewers of VMAXTANKS 6-volt 225 ampere-hours batteries reported getting barely 700 to 800 watt-hours from a bank that should deliver 1,300. That's 54 to 62% of rated capacity. Both units later shorted internally and melted together. Pay attention to this next one, because it explains why weight matters more than any number on a sticker. The Banshee Group 31 AGM is where the investigation took its most frustrating turn. Banshee is a house brand of Battery Jack Incorporated, doing business as Big Time Battery and Electronics, a company with somewhere between 11 and 50 employees in Minooka, Illinois. They don't make batteries. They rebrand imported cells and sell them through Amazon and their own storefronts. Their Group 31 Marine AGM claims 105 amp-hours and 700 cold cranking amps with a 2-year warranty. Sounds competitive on paper. The problem? The product listing doesn't prominently display the weight. And for any lead-acid battery, hiding the weight is like a restaurant hiding the health inspection score. It's the one number that tells you whether the rest of the numbers are physically possible. Lead is heavy, it's expensive, and it's directly responsible for storing electricity. You cannot fake weight. I went looking for independent testing on Banshee marine batteries. I searched the Hull Truth. I searched bass boat forums. I searched DIY solar communities where people religiously test every battery they buy. Nothing. 0 independent teardowns. 0 verified discharge tests. On one base fishing forum, when someone asked about Banshee batteries, the only reply was, "Never heard of it." On an outdoors forum, a user was told the 2-year warranty on Banshee's lithium battery sounds horrible compared to Ionic's 11 years. That silences the review. And then there's the budget Amazon battery, which I fully expected to be the punchline of this video. A no-name AGM for $90 should be the obvious loser, the cautionary tale, the you get what you pay for moral at the end. It wasn't. The weight matched the claimed capacity within the acceptable ratio. Not spectacularly, not generously, but honestly. 100 amp-hours claimed, and the lead on the scale said that's plausible. That $90 battery delivered more usable amp-hours per dollar than the $310 Optima. I don't know how to feel about that, and I don't think Optima wants me to. So how do manufacturers get away with all of this? 5 ways, all perfectly legal. First, the discharge rate game. The BCI standard uses a 20-hour test, but some manufacturers quietly rate their batteries at a 100-hour discharge, which inflates capacity by 10 to 25% thanks to Puckert's law. Rolls rates their S460 at 460 amp-hours on the 100-hour rate, but only 350 at the 20-hour rate. That's a 24% gap from the same battery. Second, marine cranking amps versus cold cranking amps. MCA is tested at 32 degrees Fahrenheit instead of 0, producing numbers 20 to 33% higher. A 500 cca battery magically becomes 650 MCA. Same battery, bigger number, totally legal. Third, temperature manipulation. Battery capacity rises roughly 12% at 50 degrees Celsius. Testing a few degrees above the standard 25 adds free amp-hours to the spec sheet. Fourth, cut-off voltage tricks. Testing to a lower endpoint squeezes out extra capacity that you'd never safely access in real use. And fifth, the one that made me angriest, some manufacturers never actually test amp-hours at all. They calculate them from a reserve capacity test using a conversion formula. The battery was never physically discharged for 20 hours. The number on the label is an estimate from a math equation. Here's the one rule that cuts through all of it. Weigh the battery. Divide the weight by the claimed amp-hours. If you get less than half a pound per amp-hour for any lead-acid battery, the physics don't support the label. A legitimate 100 amp-hour group. 31 AGM should weigh between 60 and 70 pounds. If someone is claiming 125 amp-hours at 50 pounds, they are lying to you full stop. The lead isn't there. It can't be. On DIY solar forums, a buyer caught a scam on 200 amp-hour LiFePO, 4 batteries that weighed only 34 pounds each. He called it before testing, just from the weight. The test confirmed it. 140 amp-hours. 70% of the label. The marine battery industry operates in a regulatory vacuum where the word deep cycle has no enforced definition, where starter batteries get relabeled with a new sticker and a higher price, and where the testing standards have enough wiggle room to drive a boat through. The only battery in this test that clearly undercut its own rating was the most expensive one, and it didn't lie about capacity. It just charged $5.30 per amp-hour for a product designed to survive vibration, not to store electricity. If I'm buying a house bank for a boat, I want thick plates, heavy lead, and an honest warranty. That points to East Pendeca, Trojan, or Lifeline, before it points to any of the 5 batteries sitting cut open on this workbench. YouTube thinks you'll like this video right here, so click it. And if you made it all the way to the end of this one, subscribe. I'll see you in the next Teardown.